I am going to be putting all of the tallest NHL players on the exact same team, and we're going to see what type of team success they can have here in NHL 25. Maybe they'll be great and win a Stanley Cup. Maybe they'll be an absolute abomination. There's only one way to find out, and that is to simulate. Also, yes, your eyes do not deceive you. That is, in fact, the Big Z, Zdeno Chara, on the team, on the back end. Because I'm not going to lie to you, at first I thought this team was not going to be very good, but we actually turned out pretty decent. We got Tuck Matthews and Brady Tkachuk on that first line, followed by Quinton Byfield, Tage Thompson, and Mikko Rantanen for a top 6. Even our third line is pretty good with Matt Rempe, Adam Lowry, and Patrick Laine. Our fourth line, we got some defensemen playing the fourth line role because there was way more D-men than forwards that were over the height of 6'4". So speaking of defense, I added in Zdeno Chara, possibly the tallest NHL player of all time. He's a 91 overall alongside Dougie Hamilton. We got Mo Seider with Victor Hedman, Nicholas Hague, and then Brendan Carlo, a very large back end. And then finally in goal, if we take a look, we got Jake Ottinger, who is 6'6", and then Ivan Fedotov, who is 6'7", as our backup. He's 27 years old, 80 overall. I believe he is one of the goaltenders of the Philadelphia Flyers. Now it is time to see if this roster can go on and win a Stanley Cup. At first, I thought there was no hope in hell, but over time, looking at the NHL, we did round up some very good players. And I think this team is good enough to win at least one Stanley Cup in this video. Now for the captaincy, I did give Brady Tkachuk the C. I wanted real leadership, somebody who can lead us to a Stanley Cup, so I decided with Brady with the C. I gave Zdeno Chara the A, and of course Matt Rempe, the other assistant captain. Sorry, Tummy Ache Matthews, you were just not built like that, brother. At the end of the season, this team had no problem with winning hockey games. We went 58-21-3, 119 points at the top of the NHL, followed by the Florida Panthers. Dallas had a very good season. So did Edmonton, Tampa Bay, and the Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews will lead our team in goals. He had 50 on the season, as well as 97 points. Mikko Rantanen had 91. Tage Thompson had a good season. Brady Tkachuk, our captain, did pretty well. Even a guy like Dougie Hamilton. Patrick Laine, only 19 goals, but he did have 62 points, I guess. So it was a pretty decent season. And for Jake Ottinger, a .910 save percentage alongside 4 shutouts and 43 victories. Jack Hughes on the New Jersey Devils will lead the league in scoring with 111 points, followed by Kucherov's 107. McDavid had 106, and Nathan McKinnon had 101. So not a lot of 100-point scorers currently in the NHL, but Nathan McKinnon had the most goals at 55. Matthews and Hughes both had 50. Wyatt Johnston 48. Kaprizov had 46. Brock Besser was up there. And for the goaltenders, Sergei Bobrovsky actually had more wins than Jake Ottinger by 1 at 44, but on the shutout side, it will be a two-way tie between Elvis Merzlikins and Andrei Vasilevsky. Now, as we head into the postseason, we got the Boston Bruins in round number 1, so we will see if the Atlanta Generals can win a Stanley Cup. Possibly get by the Bruins, get by another team, head to the conference finals, and then finally play in the Stanley Cup finals. I'm very interested to see how this team does in the postseason. We know we are a great regular season team, but sometimes that really does not translate, especially in this game. Right now, we are down 3-1 to the Boston Bruins, so things are not going too well. After winning 58 games in the regular season, we have to face elimination in Game 5. Here we go, up against the Bruins. After 2, we are leading by 2. Can we close the show out, force a Game 6 back in Boston, and hopefully keep our season alive? Things are not looking too great. Boston on the PP. They cannot capitalize, though. Atlanta outshooting them 29-23. Boston trying to mount a comeback here in the third period, but Jake Ottinger will shut the door. Well, here we go. Game 6 in Boston. 4-1 lead after 1, and we are up 6-3 after 2. We will clutch it up, even though it got a little close. A 7-5 victory. We have forced a Game 7 back on home ice, and it is winner take all now. I'm not even going to lie to you. That last game was a little bit of a gong show. Here we are in Game 7 with a 4-2 lead in the third period. Let's see if we can hold on to it. If Jake Ottinger, there we go, Dougie Hamilton gives us insurance marker. And that, oh yeah, Alex talk. That is all she wrote, baby. 7-2 hockey game. We definitely mounted a comeback, and we showed up when it mattered the most. We now move on to face the Carolina Hurricanes here in round number 2. After almost being eliminated, I'm not even going to lie, by the Boston Bruins in round 1. That was a little bit of an eye-opener. especially for a team that won 58 games. Okay, things are not looking great again. We're down 3-1 for consecutive series. So here we go up against the Hurricanes. Game 5. Backs are against the wall yet again. What can Atlanta do? 3-2 lead heading into the third. This feels like deja vu all over again as Matthews gets a power play goal and gives us a multi-goal lead here in the third. Shots are pretty much even, 29-29 in the third. 8 minutes left to go. Atlanta will hold on, and we will force a game number 6. I don't know how we keep falling down 3-1, but then we manage to claw our way back into the series. Why can we not just start with a lead? 2-1 lead here in the third of game 6, trying to force 7 back on home ice, and Zdeno Chara gives us an insurance marker as well as Quinton Byfield. This game is over. 4-2 win for the Generals. All right, back-to-back game 7s here. Let's see what we can do. This time we are leading 4-3 in the third period. A little bit of a closer game 7 affair. I mean, we blew out Boston. What was it, like 7-2? Something crazy like that. But right now we just hold on to a 4-3 lead after being down 3-1 in the series back-to-back times. And the Atlanta Generals, there's absolutely zero quit in this hockey team. We are off to the conference finals. Unexplainable, unimaginable, unbelievable, whatever word you want to use to describe this team. And now we're up against the Toronto Maple Leafs in the conference finals. Please, dear God, do not fall down 3-1 yet again. Not again, no! It is a 2-2 tie here in game 5. We end up winning it. Can we finish off the Leafs here in game 6? And we do! It was a pretty difficult road on the way to the Stanley Cup final, but luckily we did make it. We're up against the Dallas Stars, so best of 7 to see if this team of all the tallest players in the National Hockey League can go on and win a Stanley Cup. We win the first 2 games on home ice, move on to Dallas. We win game 3, and now the Stanley Cup is in the building. In game number 4, we finally have a lead in a series. And after 2, it's all knotted up at 2 apiece. We get a close game. Dallas does not want to get swept, especially on home ice, in front of those big-ass knockers behind the bench. They don't want to be embarrassed. They definitely do not. Shots are 41-27 for the Stars, as they definitely showed up here in Game 4, although it is still tied at 2 apiece. And it looks like we are headed to overtime, which means we will be hopping in and watching at least one overtime frame here as the Atlanta Generals are 1 shot away from winning the Stanley Cup. Here we go. Brady Tkachuk coming down the wing. What is he going to do? Feed it in the middle. I believe that was Dougie Hamilton that got the nice shot off, joining the rush. Matthews back to the point. Chara shooting over Dougie. And a great save by Jake Ottinger. It is a battle of 2 Jake Ottingers here in the Stanley Cup Finals in overtime. Back to the point. Chara shooting. Great save. There's a rebound, though. Matthews first on the puck. Over to Alex Tuch. Shooting again. There's a rebound. We got full pressure as well. Out the front. Oh, my God. Tuch, you had Brady Tkachuk all alone in front of the net, and you just cannot get the puck to him. Sagan coming in. What is he going to do? Toe drag release. Shooting. And an easy save by Otter. Dougie Hamilton skates that puck out. Move it up, baby. There we go. Up to Brady. Over to Matthews. Tommy Matthews all alone shooting. And a great save by Ottinger yet again. Robbing our top goal scorer on our team outside of, obviously, you know, Tage Thompson, Brady Tkachuk, maybe. Here we go. Speaking of the devil, Tkachuk coming in over. Thompson shooting. Rebound is there. No way, Tage Thompson. We need you a goddamn cleanup crew, brother. Holy hell. It was right there. It was there for the taking. Jam that goddamn puck in the back of the net. A massive face-off draw here in the offensive zone. Of course, Tage Thompson has to goddamn lose it. Harley moves up to Hintz. Here we go. The Stars coming in. We're about halfway through the overtime frame. Nice D by Victor Hedman there. Tage Thompson. What is he going to do? Looking. Toe drag release. Thought he was Connor Bedard for a half a second there, but unfortunately for him, he cannot put the puck at the back of the net. Rope Hintz weaving through to the defenseman. Coming in, Hintz looking. Gets bodied, but Jamie Benn, the captain, cleaning it up. Over. Back to the point. Not a shot on net there. Oh, wow. Jamie Benn throwing the body here. Matt Duchene steals it. Over to Logan Stankoven. Lundqvist. He's looking in the middle. Stankoven. No way. The D of the Atlanta Generals are very, very good. And you got to imagine, because we're such a big team. Oh my God, did Jamie Benn just put Tage Thompson through the boards? Holy hell, Tage Thompson. Oh no, that was Victor Hedman getting literally destroyed by Matt Duchene? Huh? Now, for me, that really just does not add up whatsoever. I mean, Matt Duchene is what, like 5'9", 5'10" at best? What kind of a turnover is that? Stankoven! How on earth did Victor Hedman turn the puck over like that right on the blade of Logan Stankoven? and the Dallas Stars will force a Game 5 back in Atlanta. All right, we get another stab at it tonight, trying to win the Stanley Cup on home ice, and we got no score in the game here in the third period. The Stars are trapping it up as well as Atlanta right now. They're gripping their sticks a little too light, laddie, and there we go. Austin Matthews gets one on the board. And the Atlanta Generals now have to shut the door. Jake Ottinger, I need you to play like a prime Carey Price, like a prime Roberto Luongo. Here we are yet again, this time with a 2-0 lead. As soon as I hopped in, we get another goal. And it is time to, talk coming in over. What a kind of a shot was that, Austin Matthews. Regardless, 25 seconds remain until the Atlanta Generals are listed as Stanley Cup champions. Zdeno Chara slap shot just broke somebody's twig in the middle. Hamilton rips it. Doesn't even get it on net. We don't even need it. We're playing in the offensive zone, just killing the clock. Dougie again blasting it. These big-ass D on the back end are just blasting their load all over the Dallas Stars. As we will go on in season number 1 and win the Stanley Cup. We dominated Dallas in the Stanley Cup Finals in 5 games. The first 2 rounds, it didn't go our way. We were down 3-1 in both of them. We did mount a comeback, forced a Game 7, got the job done there. In the conference finals, I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs are the Toronto Maple Leafs. I wasn't expecting a series out of that. And then we carried all that momentum into the Cup Finals where we decimated Dallas as Tummy Ache Matthews will win the Stanley Cup, will win the Conn Smythe as he had 15 goals and 37 points. A very good outing by our third best player on our team. And now for the first time ever in year number 1, the Atlanta Generals will go on and win the Stanley Cup. I mean, I knew we had a good team. At first, it didn't start out like that. I thought this team was going to struggle, but here comes Brady Tkachuk raising the Stanley Cup as he is the captain of our team. And right now, we are 1 for 1 within winning Stanley Cups here in NHL 25. Who's going to stop this team? Of course, in the postseason, Austin Matthews was our best player. We got Brady Tkachuk scoring 14 goals and 34 points. That is why I named this guy the captain of the team. Mikko Rantanen had 27. Tkachuk had a very good playoff run. Tage Thompson was decent. Line chipped in where he had to. And in goal, there it is, Jake Ottinger. A .926 save percentage, had 1 shutout, and a 16-6-3 record. Absolutely extraordinary by the Atlanta Generals, and of course, also Jake Ottinger, as McKinnon will win the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, and Hart Trophy. Actually, never mind, it went to Kucherov. The Art Ross to Jack Hughes. The Norris will go to Cale Makar. Matthews will get the Conn Smythe. Bob the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Sasha Barkov. Now, since we know this team can go on and win a Stanley Cup, it's now time to see how many they can win in a row. Can they go back-to-back? Can they three-peat? Or will they crumble under the pressure now that they are the team that everybody else is gunning for? Right now, we're doing good. 14-3-2, a hell of a start to the season. Moving on to our second season, the Atlanta Generals again will be the best team, going 55-21-6, 116 points, followed by the Leafs. Colorado was up there, Edmonton and New Jersey. At the bottom, we have the San Jose Sharks, who do have a very good future, honestly. They got a lot of young players. Their GM was cooking this year. And now they are built for the future, which unfortunately will not affect them here in NHL 25. Austin Matthews will put up 47 goals, 111 points, followed by Rantanen's 92. Brady Tkachuk had a hell of a year himself, 40 goals and 90 points. It starts to drop off now outside of our first line. Line A put up 22 goals. Hamilton was decent. A lot of these guys are defensemen, though. And Jake Ottinger, a .912 save percentage, 2 shutouts, and 43 wins. Matthews will have the most points in the league, followed by Kucherov's 109. The other Matthews had 108. Braden Point was up there. Mitch Marner had a very good season. McDavid. So the scoring, honestly, is a little bit lower here in season mode. And for the goals, David Pastrnak will score the most at 54. Matthews had 53. Kaprizov 51. Braden Point had 51. Draisaitl and Wyatt Johnston both did their thing. And for goaltenders, our Jake Ottinger had the most wins, of course, at 43. But the most shutouts will go to Anthony Stolarz on the Toronto Maple Leafs, who honestly, in real life, has been playing pretty decent. We do got a rematch in the first round against the Boston Bruins as we try to march our way to back-to-back titles. Now, we all know what happened last year in the first 3 games of the series. Actually, first 4 games, we fell down 3-1. This time, we are up 3-0, and we do not sweep Boston. Hopefully, we do not have a collapse just like they did last season. And, oh my God, this is not looking too great. In a game 6 here, we finally get the job done as we advance to round number 2, who we now face the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second round. They're actually having a very good playoff run. I did not expect this out of this team. It is a 1-1 tie after 2. We do move up in this series, up 3-1, where we should be able to close the show here, and we do get rid of the Pens in 5. Really a weaker team that we could have faced, but now we got a very steep challenge in the conference finals. The Tampa Bay Lightning, who can play spoiler. They also can simulate insanely well in this game. Well, things are not looking too great. We are down 3-0 to start the series. They are 11-3 in the postseason, and right now the Atlanta Generals trying to go back-to-back. Oh no, we are down 3-0 in game 4 in Tampa Bay. Things are not looking 4-0 now. Zemvis Girgensons will score, and that might do it for our playoff run. The Atlanta Generals dynasty, it got ended before it could even start, to be honest. As we are going to get swept by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the conference finals. We won't even make the Stanley Cup finals. And now, what I thought was going to be a dynasty isn't even back-to-back titles. The Edmonton Oilers will go ahead and beat Tampa Bay in Game 7 to win the Stanley Cup. Oh, what could have been? We could have had a matchup against Connor McDavid and play spoiler to trying for his first ever Stanley Cup. But instead, we got our asses handed to us by Tampa Bay. That was embarrassing, dude. Mikko Rantanen was our best player. He had 10 goals and 16 points. Nobody else really performed. And Jake Ottinger, I mean, he did his thing, a .913 save percentage. Austin Matthews will win the Ted Lindsay, David Pastrnak, the Maurice Richard, our Matthews, the Art Ross, and Toronto's Matthews, the Hart Trophy. Cale Makar will again win the Norris, McDavid, the Conn Smythe, Markstrom, Vezina Trophy, and Barkov will win the Selke. All right, shout out Vince Carter, because I got one more in me. One final season to see if this team can go on, win their second Stanley Cup, not cement themselves as a dynasty, but cement themselves as a very, very good team, because I do believe last season was an outlier. We probably should have gone all the way, but we ended up choking, of course, to Tampa Bay. This is Atlanta's final shot. We were the second best team in the league, 58-19-5 record. Only Dallas was better, who we did beat in the Stanley Cup final, so I'm confident that we can do it again. Austin Matthews had his best season so far, 56 goals, 112 points. Rantanen at 43 and 92 points. Brady Tkachuk was pretty decent. Alex Tuch was okay. Tage Thompson hasn't really been performing the way I wanted him to, but he is on the second line at the end of the day. And for Jake Ottinger, a .917 save percentage, 3 shutouts and 43 wins. He was Vezina worthy. Toronto's Austin Matthews will have the most goals in the NHL at 57 and also the most points at 113. Our Matthews did good, though. Mitch Marner had 106. McDavid was up there. Kucherov and Pastrnak were all 100-goal scorers, or 100-point scorers. My bad. If we go to goalies here, Ottinger on Dallas will have the most wins at 48 and the most shutouts. We'll go to the big man who just got that big-ass deal. 6 shutouts for Jeremy Swayman on the season. And now in the first round, we are up against Ottawa instead of Boston, who did not even make the playoffs in year number 3. All right, here we go. Our playoff run begins now against the Ottawa Senators in the first round. Hopefully we do not choke. Oh, we lose the first game. That is not great, but we do bounce back. We got a game 6 here, up 3-2 against the Senators. Can they force 7? They will force a game 7 in the first round. The Sens are giving us problems. Are you kidding me right now? We should be absolutely decimating this team, and we're losing 2-1 here in game 7 in the third period while out shooting them 31-14. There we go. Zdeno Chara gets the power play marker, tie the game up, or leave some pressure and some stress here for me, considering I thought this team would be a mini dynasty, maybe win 3 in a row, but right now we're struggling to get out of round number 1, and it looks like we might have overtime on our hands here in game 7. Let's see what can happen. Shots are 46-21, clearly dominating, and there we go. Jamie Oleksiak will punch our ticket to round number 2. And now we got the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round. Going to be a better team than Ottawa, that is for sure, as yet again we are up 3-2 in the series, trying to close it out in game 6. We don't get the job done. So back-to-back game 7s here for the Generals. Carolina versus Atlanta. What can we do? Second period, we're only leading by 1. Things are getting a little hairy. There we go. Tage Thompson gives us an insurance marker. Again, outshooting our opponent in game 7. We have definitely outplayed them, but Carolina is only 2 shots essentially from tying this game. 7 minutes left to go. Can we shut the door? Jake Ottinger, please, for the love of God, punch our ticket back to the conference final. Oh no, Svechnikov back to within 1. And Atlanta will hold on. A rematch against the Leafs here in the conference finals. 2 years ago, we dominated them, and right now, oh my God, they're up 3-0. They win the first 3 games. We've only scored 3 goals in 3 games as the Leafs. Okay, there we go. We force game 5. Can we force 6? We cannot force a game 6, and that will do it. The Atlanta Generals are not going to be a dynasty, but only a one-time champion, as the Leafs would go on, beat Colorado in the Stanley Cup finals, and absolutely embarrass us. Austin Matthews kind of did his thing. I mean, 12 goals, 27 points in the playoffs. Brady Tkachuk at 21. Alex Tuck, that's where it starts trailing off. We did not have that secondary scoring that we really needed, and Jake Ottinger had his worst playoff run of the entire video, so that definitely did not help out our hopes at trying to win another Stanley Cup. Toronto's Matthews will take home all the major individual awards. Quinn Hughes will win the Norris, the Conn Smythe, also to Tommy Ake. Jake Ottinger will win the Vezina, and the Selke again to Sasha Barkov. Well, that is going to do it for putting all the tallest NHL players and, of course, Zdeno Chara on the exact same team. In year number 1, they did very good. They went all the way, won the Stanley Cup. I thought we were in the midst of a dynasty, possibly 3 in a row, but NHL 25 had other plans. We kind of started falling off a cliff after the first season. If you guys did enjoy the video, though, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel with notifications on to ensure you get notified every single time I go live or post a video. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.